Hello, and welcome to another Sitecore Stories. Today I'm going to be chatting with Caroline Couri all about A/B testing in XM Cloud. So, let's dive in. Hi, thanks for joining me today, Caroline.
Hey Rob, thanks for having me.
So, before we dive in and talk all about A/B testing in XM Cloud, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role here at Sitecore?
I can indeed. So actually, prior to joining Sitecore, I was working in digital marketing, and specifically, I was working with website development and management. And now at Sitecore, I'm the product manager for the page building experience in XM Cloud. So that means I look after features like being able to create and manage your pages associated with your site. It's also all about, combining components and content to create that visual page experience. And then I also oversee initiatives about applying optimization actions to help web pages reach their full potential.
Nice. So, I think before we talk about the feature itself, can you talk a little bit about the problem we were seeing in the industry and why we built this out?
Yeah, absolutely. So A/B testing is actually considered like a key optimization tool, and it's deployed by many marketing teams to test a hypothesis on how to drive more conversions for your business. So it's really super diverse in terms of applicability. And it could, for example, be that you test two thumbnails against each other for a YouTube video, or you test two different variants of the same advertisement to determine if there's, a specific presentation that generates more clicks than the other. And obviously that is also applicable to a website. With XM Cloud, we already offered the possibility of adapting layout and content on a page to a specifically targeted audience with our personalization feature. But we didn't really have that experimental feature to gain more insights about audience behavior in the first place. But we did have the A/B testing technology available in our Sitecore personalized product. So what we wanted to do was to take that and create an embedded version of it for our XM Cloud customers to also experiment with content and layout variations on their web pages.
Yeah, nice. So how does what we've implemented kind of address what the market wanted then? How does it solve the problem?
Yeah, so it was very important to us, this being an embedded feature, that our marketing customers would be able to pick it up and just start benefiting from it straight away without having to leave XM Cloud and do separate configurations. So we've made sure that everything is working out of the box from Pages and that the marketer will have a set of valuable goals and goal metrics and test options available when they do set up their tests in XM Cloud.
Nice. I guess, the final thing here is, can we see it in action?
Absolutely. I'm gonna show you in this demo like two just very basic user cases that we cover. And I'm going to be using my powerful site here open in our XM Cloud Page Builder. Today, I will be focusing on a new landing page for a new product that we're about to launch. So let me pull that up here on the left-hand side. And it is a landing page for this new product called the Power Bar. Now, the power bar here, as you can see, we are trying to keep the content quite generic and a bit more all around. But I may have a hypothesis that actually this could be considered like a really good pre-workout snack for people who go to the gym. So I have a hypothesis that if I can adapt the text here in this component to target gym goers a bit more specifically, I might be able to generate more conversions. So the way that I'll go about this is that I will select my component. And you can see once I do that, I have the option to create a test. So I'll do that and I will call this the Power Bar Promo CTA test. And I'll save it. And once I do that, you will see on the right-hand side here that I have now generated an A and a B version of this component. Our B variant is not populated yet, so I need to apply an action. In this case, I want to tweak the text, so I'll just keep the component as it is, and I will use this copy original component. And you will see in a sec here, yeah, now I have my variant B highlighted in a different color, and I can start editing the content. So what I'll do is that I will tweak this to say, okay, I want to pack with nutrients to power your workout. And maybe I have some more specific text that I want to use in the second part as well. So let me just pull that up here real quick. Take it and insert it here. There we go. So now you can see, let me just select this again. I have variant A with our original text, and I have variant B with text targeted gym goers. So our feature is actually an ABN testing based functionality. So that means that you could create up to 6 variants in total, including your control variant. I'll keep it at these 2 for now. And then to be able to set this live, I obviously need to give it some metrics to measure against. And I also need to set up the traffic distribution. So I'll open my configurations. In this case, what I'm trying to measure is a conversion rate that is based on page views. So my goal is to increase the page views. And my target pages in this case will be the power bars. So I'll select the generic power bar side, and I'll just select these variants as well. And you can see that's adding it for me here at the top. Close that tab. For the traffic distribution, I have 2 variants. I'm going to keep it at 50-50 for each of the variants. If my hypothesis was strongly suggesting that one variant would be performing better than another, I could tweak that and I could say, actually, I'm so confident in this variant, I'm going to send it to 80. I would have to tweak the other one to 20 then. You can see then my validation machine here is going to go away. Or I can just go back to 50-50 here. Then I can also decide, once there is a winning variant, do I want to assign all of the traffic immediately to that winning variant, or do I want to assign it back to the control? Because actually I'm just doing an experiment to learn more about my users, and I can apply those insights that I get to a component elsewhere on my site. And the same is applicable if the test is inconclusive. I can also say I want to keep running the test, or I can just assign all traffic back to my control variant immediately. Now, in terms of determining if and when a testing is conclusive, we have pre-entered some values here to say that, okay, this is an ideal sample size if you want, like, with good confidence to be able to say that there's a winning variant. And you can obviously, if you have the insights about your audience, you could tweak these numbers here. So you could say that if you want to take the confidence level down, you can see the sample size goes down as well. Or I can just reset it back to default. And then finally, for the overall traffic distribution to this test, I could say that I want to assign it to 100% of the traffic. Or if I'm doing more of a randomized experiment and I may be testing like many variants at the same time, I could say, actually, I only want to target about 10%, just to not upset my audience or my users. I'll keep it at 100 for now. I'll save my configurations. And then what I need to do is to just start the test. Continue. And you can see it tells me that I do have to publish the page. And once I do that, the test will start running. Because I've just done some changes to my content and my layout on the page. That's why I need to publish the page. So that's the first use case. Now, the second use case I wanted to show you is a little different. So it's different in the sense that it's based on a different type of conversion. So let's say that now this page has been running for a while, and I have this form on the page as well to get users to submit their information so they can get a sample of this new power bar. I've noticed that I'm not getting as many form submissions as I would like. So my hypothesis in this case could be that users don't want to fill in their phone number because they're afraid of getting spammed with marketing calls. So I have created a different version of this, or a different variant of this form component. In this case, I already set up the test, but you can see if I switch over to my B variant here, I haven't populated it yet. So in this case, I'll use this swap with another component action, and I'll scroll down and select this one. This is my shorter form. Let's give it a sec here to load, and there we go. You can see now my B variant has been populated with this form that doesn't have the phone field. So I will do the same in terms of configurations, except let me show you just super quickly. Now you can see, because I'm testing a form specifically, I have this option to say that my metric is that I want to increase form submissions. So I don't have to specify anything else, because my component already has the 2 forms that it's supposed to be doing the comparison between. I'll keep all of my other configurations the same here. I'll save, and I will just have to start the test again. Now, obviously, because I only just set up these tests, I don't have any analytics yet, but I can show you just super quickly what it looks like if I did have some analytics. So here on my homepage, I have a test that's been running for a little while. First of all, I can see, if I click my little icon here, that I have 2 tests on this page. I have one just called AB, and then I have a separate one here, one that's in draft. So let me show you for this one that was live. If I click in here, I am already seeing some performance measurements coming through here, but I could also say I want to view the full analytics, and it's going to open it for me. And this is where I can see like the full overview of how many visits have I had and how many of those visits have been registered as a conversion based on the goal that I set up for the test. And that is it really in a nutshell about A/B testing. One more thing maybe to note about it is that when you have an A/B test and it's been running for a while, if there's a winning variant, it's going to be indicated to you here on the right-hand side as well. Obviously, if you set that a winning variant should have all of the traffic assigned automatically, that's going to happen. But because in your CMS, you are still operating with 2 or multiple variants of this component on the page, so you do need to just manually end your test and decide which of the variants you're going to keep. So if there was a winning variant, that would be indicated here. It's also just going to tell you quickly that if your test hasn't reached statistical significance, you should be aware of it. Obviously, you can still end your test if that's what you want to do. I won't do it here for this component because it's a nice test to have running. So one final thing to note maybe about A/B testing is that one of the beautiful things about it is that even if the original hypothesis turns out to be incorrect, or if the test is inconclusive, so if I come back and use that first example of the power bar promo component, and it turns out that narrowing the message too much is actually hurting my conversion rate, then I can always just go back to my control variant, and I will still have gained valuable insights about how my audiences behave, and I can feed that into the next hypothesis to test.
That's awesome. I guess one thing that springs to mind is for people who've already bought XM Cloud, they're running it today, do they need to do anything to enable A/B testing? How do they get access to it?
Yeah, they just need to make sure that the JSS application they're running is on a compatible version, and it's mentioned which version you need to be on in our documentation. And that's it.
Awesome. Everyone loves getting new features out of the door.
Yes.
Okay, so I guess to finish up, if anyone has any questions about A/B testing, what's the best way to get hold of you?
Well, I'm available on LinkedIn. You can find me. My name is Caroline Couri, or you're also very welcome to send me an email at caroline.couri@sitecore.com.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining me today, Caroline. Hopefully we get to speak again soon.
Yeah, thanks very much again for having me, Rob. Cheers.